Yeah.
What's going on, Denver? What's going on, Metro? We are here live in the studio for another episode of the Get Right Mind Body Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm here with my main man, Leo, once again.
What's up, everybody?
We're going to get down to it today, talk about everything mind, body, fitness, nutrition. Let's go.
I wanted out of life and shit. I told her a place to raise my kids where police would not approach them, and they can rest in peace without circles from the vultures, and never be beaten just for speaking on their culture. And this to me seems like the way that life's supposed to be. And every day I get a little bit closer, but the devil trying to end the game.
What's crack-a-lackin', Leo?
Not too much, Jeffrey. What up?
Another beautiful day.
Yeah.
In the Mile High.
Yeah.
I am officially shot out of a cannon because I had 3 shots of espresso right before I came in. I'm going to see how this does me.
That's good. That hopefully we'll have a good little energetic podcast.
Yeah. When I worked at Barnes & Noble, in the Barnes & Noble cafe, I used to have to be there at 7:30, and I thought, like, this is an ungodly hour to work because I was like 22. And yeah, that's what I would do. I would get in and I would immediately start the espresso machine. My buddy called it espresso shooter. You would just get 3 shots of espresso, a splash of half and half, and a shot of like whatever flavoring you want. And that's how I'd always start my shift. But I thought, God, how do people wake up this early? And now, like, now I have to go to work at 6 a.m.
Really?
to
Okay.
be at work at 6 a.m. So I would love to go to work at 7:30 a.m.
Yeah. I had 3 espressos too today. I went to the library cafe like I always do between my first and second class. And
You go to that place a lot?
Yeah.
Is it
I
good?
do. It's really good. It's where I get my cold brew. But today they were out of cold brew, so they actually offered me
hot brew.
Yeah, no. They offered me like espresso shots instead, and they're like, oh, like about 6 shots would be a cold brew. So I'm like,
is that how much coffee's in there? Or caffeine
I'm
is
like,
in the
I
cold brew?
didn't believe it, so I'm like, I don't want that much. I just give me like 3 shots, and we'll call it a day.
Were they trying to charge you for like 6 shots? Or
No, they were giving
okay.
me. They were just giving me 6 shots for price of cold brew. Yeah.
How much is a cold brew?
It's like $3.50, I think.
Oh, really?
And the good part is they have a rewards program. So I actually got my first free coffee last time. Took forever though.
How do you need like 10 or something? You get one free?
I don't know. It had to have been more than 10 because I go there a lot. I don't know. I didn't count. It takes way longer than like say Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know Starbucks had a reward program. I don't.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They have.
Is it just on a card? I see people have.
It's an app. It's an app. And,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So once you buy a certain amount of drinks, you reach the first level. I forget some color, and then
there's tiers.
Yeah, and then there's gold, which is the highest one. So you just have to like upkeep it, like get a certain amount of drinks every year.
Uh-huh.
But the good part is you can get free refills. So I'll just go into Starbucks and I'll get like a tall cold brew, like the smallest size, and I'll just keep on refilling it for free, like all day.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It is very, very convenient. Yeah.
That's awesome. I made coffee this morning. I'm about a pot a day coffee drinker, probably.
You got to cut that off.
But I made the pot this morning, and sometimes, like when it's brewing.
Yeah.
Do you brew coffee at home at all?
No, we use a dripper. It's like Costa-rican dripper. So you just put like
Costa-rican dripper.
Yeah.
That sounds like some dirty.
Oh yeah, it's so dirty.
Some dirty thing on an Urban Dictionary.
Exactly.
The Costa-rican dripper.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So
you
just put like ground coffee in there. Just pour water over it. So it's like a drip coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was making coffee this morning, and sometimes like the filter will fold over on itself, and it ends up. Sometimes it'll continue to brew the same way, and you won't notice that anything has gone awry, which I did not until like I opened it up to empty it, and I was like, oh, it's like folded over, but I was like, whatever. And like a lot of times, what happens when that does that is the grinds will get into the coffee, but I didn't notice anything, and like literally like right before I left, I had to take my dog to the vet. I turned up my mug, and it was nothing but coffee grinds. Wow. It was so gross.
It's got to be disappointing.
It was It was not what I wanted. I know that. It was not what I wanted.
It's less than I expected.
Less than I expected. But yeah, I had to take my dog to the vet.
Yeah.
String Bean, poor String Bean.
Yeah.
He's like 2 days ago, he was out on the back porch and came back in, and he was just like whimpering. He stopped eating. Like yesterday morning, I was like, our little dog Tyson, who you've met,
Yeah.
that 7-pound miniature pinscher, he stays in the room with us, not in the bed, just in the room.
Yeah.
We have a whole process because Tyson stays in the room. String Bean and Reggie Jackson, my cat, stay outside the room.
Your big dog's name is String Bean?
Yeah, well,
I thought it was something else.
it is. It's Stringer Bell.
Stringer Bell.
Yeah, Stringer Bell from the
okay.
character from The Wire,
Yeah.
which led to because people are always like, it's just Stringer is what I call them.
Right.
Basically, I started watching that show. And you've never seen it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. There's a character on it. Do you know who the actor Idris Elba is?
Yeah. I love him, yeah.
So he's the character on the show, Stringer Bell. And season 1, he's like the number 2 guy in like this, drug gang. And he was like super loyal, you know. He like basically the other guy is just like the main guy is like the shadow figure that like nobody knows what he looks like. Nobody, that one of those. And so
he's the behind the scenes, and
so the main guy's behind this. Yeah, so the face of the organization is actually this guy Stringer Bell. And I was like, oh, that's a really loyal dude. If I ever have a dog, I'm gonna name him Stringer Bell. And I had always planned on getting like a Rottweiler, like something big and like imposing. And it's not what I got. I got got a 40-pound lab beagle. With a history of violence.
Yep. And a little dog who thinks he's
and a little
tough,
dog,
too tough.
A little dog who thinks he's Idris Elba.
Yeah,
basically.
Pretty much.
But yeah, so I have to keep Tyson. We had to keep Tyson in the room. The moment we opened the door, Reggie Jackson, my cat, who I did not name, she's a female, so I'll get to the backstory of that one day. But she stands right outside the room. The moment I open the door, Tyson goes insane. Just every morning this happens. I have to pick him up. I have to like take him downstairs, like close the door, like take my shower downstairs, like isolate him from Reggie Jackson. Stringer generally starts going nuts and goes bananas because he thinks we're going outside, and he starts going crazy. I have to tell him to calm down, and I'm like, all I'm trying to do is not wake my girlfriend up through this whole.
You gotta be sly. Yeah,
it's this whole process that I've started to get used to, but it's taken a couple months to iron out exactly how to like get through the morning without waking my girlfriend up.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, but you said your cat and your big dog Stringer, they grew up together, right? And then you recently just got Tyson.
So I got Reggie Jackson. Like, I had a series of roommates. I went through, like, in a 2-year period, 4 roommates. And I don't remember who brought Reggie Jackson in this process.
You don't?
But by the time, like, the last roommate moved out, it was just me and the cat.
So I thought you got the little dog, like, the last out of all of them.
So the little dog is Tyson. That's
Tyson.
That's my girlfriend, Naomka's dog. She's had him for 11 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because you guys used to not live together.
Right.
Okay, I see.
Right.
Okay.
String Bean, I got Stringer Bell. I got my aunt, her husband died, my uncle, and it was his dog. And he was like sick when he got him, he was sick. So Stringer had plenty of time to run outside in the backyard, but didn't go on like a lot of walks, didn't get outside much. And so when my uncle passed, my aunt like really couldn't take care of him. He's a good dog. He just he has a little bit of a history of going ape, going Hulk on people. So
I saw that, yeah. But he's cuddly too, so
yeah. He's just real defensive and like kind of like, I don't know you, bro. Right. Mentality.
For sure.
Which is a good thing to have in a dog. It just took a little bit of time to mold him from when I got him, he had been in the pound for like 3 months. So I kind of was like, it's kind of like I got him out of jail, So
yeah.
So it took a little bit of rehabilitation.
Yeah. Papers, bail and everything.
Yeah. But yesterday, he would not get out of the way of the door. He kept trying to get into the room, and he like had his tail between his legs, and he was whimpering. And like every time I tried to open the door, he tried to run in, which I can't allow to happen because when he runs in, he jumps in the bed. Tyson's so small it wouldn't matter. You don't even know when he's in the bed. But like Stringer's like 40 pounds, so he'll jump in the bed and wake her up. And like it's the worst way to get woken up is like a dog in your face, you know.
We're the best. That's how you look at it.
It's the best if. I'd say if you're sleeping in late and you got nothing going on and it's a lazy Saturday, it's the best. But when you have to work and it's dark out, you're like, get out of my face. Yeah, but he wouldn't let me in. So he ended up, I had to take him to the vet to figure out what was going on with him because he wasn't eating, wasn't drinking. He was shaking. He was whimpering, and took him to the vet. And he said he had a cruciating ligament that was tweaked, I guess. And hopefully he'll be okay. I got some steroids and some... I'm assuming some NSAIDs. Well, I assume the steroids are, I don't know if the pain, he's got a pain med and a steroid, and hopefully he'll be okay. If he's not okay within 2 weeks, then I'll have to take him to get surgery.
Yeah.
So.
You have insurance?
No, but my girlfriend does.
She does,
so
okay.
I'm going to get him on her insurance.
Good. It's going to be super expensive if
I
not.
know.
So, yeah, definitely.
I know. So, yeah, that's the plan. So, so I'm sending up the positive vibes out there for String Bean.
Yes.
That he gets back to his crazy self. He pulls so much when I walk him. It is infuriating. And I'm always like, I can't wait till he loses a step. That's always what I tell my girlfriend. Like, I can't wait till he gets older.
Yeah.
And he doesn't pull this much. And then like, he has like literally not been pulling. And I feel so bad. I'm like, I want him back to his normal self where he's just.
I take it all back.
Yeah, I take it all back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
You've never had a dog?
No, I wanted one. I've always wanted one, but my parents, when I was with them, they're like, you're not going to take care of him. I don't believe it. You're going to walk him. We're just going to get him, and then you're going to neglect him. I'm like, I can't prove it to you. So
Trust me, I'm 7. I could do it.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, no, I've never had a dog, but I cat sat for 2 weeks. If that counts. Yeah, just like last 2 weeks ago.
All right.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
You were responsible for another living being.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I miss him.
This is a step
In
I
the
would
right
recommend, yes, to young men out there that want to be a little more responsible but want to limp into it. The first thing you can do is get a plant. Now, it's because the plant, you do have to water a plant or it will die.
Yeah.
Now, if you fail on that first plant, you can get plants that require less water, okay? So you can get a cactus.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, something like that, all right? So you start super easy, and you build from there. Then you start to get plants that can go like a week or so without water. You know, once you're up to that level, then, you know, you can eventually graduate to a cat. So a cat has to be fed once a day. You have to change the litter box twice a week. But you can go out of town for, I'll say, up to 3 days without having a cat sitter. Because the cat will just, if you get the right bowl, like the ones that dispense the water, and you just give them enough food, the cat will be fine.
Yeah.
Once you have a dog, you have to find someone to watch your dog. That's a true responsibility. Yeah, so it's not nowhere near, I'm sure, what a child is, but it definitely, dog, you have to not just feed. Some people feed their dog once a day. I'd rather feed my dog twice a day. I don't care if he gets fat, but I'll just feed him half. You know, I don't know. I feel weird about feeding an animal, like a dog, at least just once a day. Here you go, buddy. Enjoy it. And then he inhales it like Stringer does, and in 5 minutes it's gone.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, what do I do for the other 23 hours and 55 minutes of my day?
Something I noticed about when I was cat sitting was you would give, I don't know if it's just this cat or any cat, but we would like give him like, say, food for the day, and he would never like binge on it. He would just like eat a little bit, walk away.
Cats do that.
Yeah, a little more later. He would just like be very moderation. Yeah.
I had to reduce the amount of food I gave my cat because I kept throwing so much away because it just sit out and get stale. Yeah. Because it gets to the point where it's like I used to fill up the bowl and like I would just end up going to waste because once it, you know, it's probably like eating old cereal or
Yeah.
something that's been sitting out. It just gets stale. And
Yeah.
so then I transitioned to like a half a bowl, and like then it got to the point where it's like literally just enough to cover the bottom of the bowl. That's
Yeah.
all she needs, and I'll do that like twice
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah, and he would always throw up like everywhere.
Cats throw up a lot.
Is that a cat thing? It wasn't like a Toby thing. His
It
name
is
was
a-
Toby.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Yeah. He
It's,
would throw up everywhere. He threw up on the carpet. He threw up on the
my-
bed.
Yeah.
Like.
My cat throws up everywhere. In fact, my girlfriend has such a good ear for it now
Yeah.
that like we were sitting on the couch the other day, and she was like I didn't hear it at all, but she was like, Reggie.
Hmm.
And like I was like, yeah, like looked around for her, and like we've gotten to the point now where like if she hears it, I'll jump up, run and get a paper towel, and sometimes I can like
can
get
catch
it
Yeah.
under her.
Yeah.
Because they're throwing up. It's a process. It's not like, like I don't know, when a human throws up, maybe it's different, but it's like a cat. It's like it starts.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And it's like if you can react fast enough, you can get under there with a paper towel before it comes out.
And it wasn't even like throw up. It was like literally just like little moist food.
Foamy.
No, it was like just the food. He like barely chewed it. He would take it down and then just throw it back up, and the food was still solid, just a little moist from his spit, I guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, it wasn't like didn't look like human throw up at all. It was like
I was on what was it? So I was trying to do the paleo diet at one point, and I lived right near a Sprouts. Even though I lived right next to the Sprouts, I lived 3 blocks from it, so I could walk there. But I still hardly ever went there just because it's more expensive. And I was like trying to do the paleo diet, and so I got this book called the Frugal Paleo Cookbook because I was like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, if I gotta do this and shop at Sprouts, I'm gonna have to save money. And so I went through and cooked a couple recipes, and then I got to pate. Have you ever had pate?
Well, actually, I think it does sound familiar. I don't think I've ever. I don't know.
Okay. Well, basically, pate is liver, and
Okay.
you turn it into like this almost gelatinous
Okay.
spread, like you so.
Yes, I
by
have
the
had it.
end.
I have had it.
You've had
Yes,
it.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Did you
yes.
like it?
I liked how it tasted. I just didn't like the thought of it. Like that I'm eating liver, like mashed liver. But yeah,
Yeah.
it tasted good.
Well, I went. This was like maybe the 3rd or 4th recipe in this book.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like I was like, I'm gonna go through this whole book, and I was like, this is like page 3 or 4, and so I'd never had pate before. So I went to Sprouts and I went and got everything I needed, which cost $27 for one meal. So the frugal thing went out the window. I went home and I spent like, I don't know, it took like 2-3 hours to like get it all together. I was taking my time, but you have to take what you mix up, and then put it in the fridge to cool it, to get it into the that gelatinous consistency that you need.
Kind of freeze it up.
Yeah, to
little
turn
bit.
it into like a spread. It's almost like Jell-O, like.
Yeah.
So I did all this, and like I finally pulled it out, and
Didn't work.
I took one bite, and I was like, great, my cat's gonna love this,
Yeah.
because I was like,
Yep.
I'm not gonna eat it. So I took a big chunk of it, slice of it, put it in a bowl for Reggie Jackson, put it on the floor, and like came back like 5 minutes later, and she was throwing it up.
That was the whole point of the story. That's funny.
So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I guess my pate didn't work, but yeah, Reggie didn't like that either. So it just looked like cat food. I assumed she would love it. It's like, this looks like what you eat, and I made
Smarter
it
than that.
myself. Nah, Reggie hated it.
Yeah.
Reggie's a female. Let me remind you.
Oh, true.
Reggie
True,
is
true,
a
true.
female.
Yeah. You ever
yeah.
been to Trader Joe's?
No, and
You need to.
I hear such good
It's
things
like
about it.
it's honestly cheaper than King Soopers. Me and
It
my
is? Wow.
ex-girlfriend, we would when we first moved here, we shopped at King Soopers all the time, and then we just switched over to Trader Joe's. It's 1, cheaper, 2, a lot fresher, and it's everything's like just healthier overall. So yeah, I would say definitely do that over Sprouts or Natural Grocers Trader Joe's #1.
Natural grocers. Where I used to live, I used to live in. Do you know where Berkeley is?
No.
It's like it's like a neighborhood, North Highlands, whatever. But yeah, I lived like 5 blocks from a natural grocers or vitamin shop. The vitamin shop was the sign is bigger vitamin shop, but natural grocers, and 3 blocks from like a Sprouts. It's pretty awesome. There was within 3 blocks was a Sprouts, my 24-hour fitness, my dentist, my eye doctor, my doctor. Like I found everything in this one little complex right when I moved to Denver.
Yeah.
Like everything was right there. There was a bowling alley. It was awesome. Everything was walking distance. I walked so much when I lived there.
Yeah.
Now my walking situation's a little different. I live in like a little bit of a. You've been to my place. I don't know if you noticed. It's a little sketch. Sketch around there.
Not too sketch. Your house is cool.
Well,
really cool.
yeah, no, our place is cool. We wanted something. I'll say we, as if I helped purchase it, but we wanted something with a garage, a fireplace, some kind of backyard area that the dog could walk out in, even if it's just a patio porch. Yeah, those 3 and 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So. Within that price range, we got everything we wanted except the location. Location is just a little bit sketch. Like yesterday morning, we're so used to it now. Like there's so many homeless people that live around there that just meander about. That we were walking.
Just along Main Street, not in your little alley.
Well, I live off Federal, which is lively. Like we hear sirens all the time.
Even in the back, because you're towards the back of the street, like of your side street.
Yeah. We do. I mean, every time we come, like, we just joke about it. It's like there's always, like, flashing lights going some direction from where we live.
Wow.
But, yeah, we were walking yesterday. We were walking the dogs, and, like, it was, like, I don't know, 5 p.m., and there was, like, there was a dude. There's, like, a picnic table and a trash can right along. There's a trail that connects Federal. It's a bike walking trail, pedestrian trail that goes down to the Platte River Trail, which is awesome. Which goes miles north and south along the Platte River, and there's parks all along it.
Yeah.
But like, it's also because it's a pedestrian trail, there are people that just live along the river, around the river, walk up and down. So it's also like it is a pathway for people to get from like wherever they're at to Federal, where everything's popping off.
For sure.
So yeah, we just like, it's like there's a dude just sitting on the ground like pulling in cigarettes out of a trash can, like so he can like take the tobacco out and like make a new cigarette.
Yeah.
And we're so used to it. It's like we're just like it's like we didn't even mention it. You know what I mean? So that happened yesterday. About a week ago, we went to there's I guess you could. I don't know if it's a cliche or stereotypical of like an Asian-owned liquor store in a bad or seedy part of town.
Yeah, it's very common.
Yeah, so we have one like the closest liquor store to us, but we went to just like go get some wine and just a detail that has nothing to do with the story. But this liquor store, the guys that work behind the counter, is one of the shortest Asian men I've ever seen in my life, and one of the tallest Asian men I've ever seen in my life. So it's just comical seeing them side by side. But I was getting out of the car, and like this dude got out of the car next to us, and like he like turns and starts looking at me as I'm getting out of the car, and I'm immediately like, okay, here we go. What's this guy going to say, do, whatever? And he's just opening his mouth to say something, and then he saw my girlfriend get out of the car, and he just like quietly turned around and went in the store. We were in there, and he was like fumbling around with like the 40s. Yeah, I didn't pay any attention to it, but we get out, and like the owner of the liquor store, the short Asian guy, he comes out and he's like, get out of here, I'll call the police. And the guy's like trying to cuss back, but he's so drunk he can't even like form sentences. But he starts approaching the man, and the guy just pulls out pepper spray and just sprays him and 2 other like vagrants that were just like hanging out, just pepper sprays everybody.
Wow.
I'm like, let's get out of here. Yeah. Like, so
that's where you live.
Yeah, so that's home. That's home.
I didn't know you were so close to Platte. Was it Platte Park or? Platte River.
So
Platte River's downtown. It's Platte Street, right? Or am I thinking of something else?
It does go. It goes all the way to. You can take the Platte River Trail all the way to downtown to what is that park? I can't remember.
I think it's Platte Park.
Platte Park.
Maybe not. I don't know.
There is on the map. There's a series of parks that go. Oh, Confluence Park. There's a series of parks all the way. I can't remember how long this trail is, but it's pretty awesome. There's parks all along it. So I've been utilizing it. That's what I did today. You know, I had to take Stringer to the vet, so I didn't make our class. So since I missed class, I was like, well, let me take a jog. So that's what I did today. And it's nice. It's always a bit of an adventure going up and down that trail.
Yeah.
But
you don't know what you're gonna find.
Yeah, you know, like I always tell her, I'm like, it's just there's better stories and better characters on that end of town.
Yes.
You know, I was
you gotta
like,
make the most of it.
Yeah, it's like where I lived before in Lakewood. It's like there was no action, there was no stories. You know, I don't know. So it's we make the most of it. Our place is nice, and we feel safe within our little villa.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's you just got to keep your guard up.
Yeah, Denver's kind of tough like that. So you got to if you're not rich, you got to pick. You want location, you want like a good place. Can't often have both for a reasonable price in Denver. Like right now I'm looking right now and it's hard.
It's like every other.
Yeah.
It's like every other city. It's
any major
if
city.
You can, I mean, if you have to get one or two roommates if you want to live in like a happening part of town or a nice part of town or something like that. I mean, but you know, if you're wanting to, if you're wanting to live by yourself or you're wanting to buy, it's really, really hard to live in those areas. But it's fine. I love it. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. We love this. We love the place. We love being there, and we'll continue to be there because she bought it, and it's
nice,
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So we're doing kind of the abbreviated pod today. We are back. We had spring break. How did you spend your spring break?
It was relaxing. So before spring break, I was like super exhausted, like especially the week before. So just my goal for spring break is just to sleep in, kind of relax. So just think about like what I want to do with my life a little bit.
Contemplating life
a little bit.
Did you go to India to find yourself?
Yeah, something like that. No, I went to Boulder actually.
To
find myself.
Yeah.
I actually so Sunday, the first Sunday of spring break, I actually went up to Boulder myself, and it's been on my bucket list because I've been to Boulder like a few times with other people, but this time I was like I should probably go by myself, and it was really cool. I went to the very top of the mountain and I drove up there.
Mount Boulder.
I don't know what it's called, something like that. Yeah, but there were a lot of people up there, so I kind of made friends up there with people. I took some Instagram stories. Just took a little walk up the road. It was very relaxing. And other days I kind of just hung out, did a little bit of homework. Didn't do too much. Didn't try to overload myself. Just slept, to be honest.
Did you meditate?
Yeah, I did meditate every day for sure.
I have fallen off of my practice once again.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's hard. It's hard to. I think I'm good at. I work off of a routine really well, and it's hard routine because I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m.
Oh, okay.
So if I didn't have to take the dogs out in the morning, it would be so much easier for me to get that meditation in. But, I told you at one point I was waking up at 4 a.m. just to get it in. Yeah. And I was struggling I wasn't struggling at work, but I was tired at work. And I think I'm one of those people that like really needs like 8 hours of sleep to really be productive.
Me too.
So I was having to make a choice between getting up and meditating or just like sleeping in a little bit, like 30 minutes, an hour longer. Yeah.
You ever get like a lunch break where you can meditate or no?
I have been considering. I have done it before because I work at a hospital. I have gone to the chapels there before and meditated during my lunch break. I'm considering doing it again. I will still have my phone on me, and so I can still do it. I'm considering doing it. I don't know if maybe I'll try it this week.
Or even just after work. One of those.
That's probably the best idea.
Yeah.
You know what? That's probably the best idea.
How long do you do it for again?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay.
Up to 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay. And how long's your lunch break?
30 minutes.
Oh, so you can't even eat at that point.
Yeah, that would be the trade-off. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
What I can do is I can go to I can get like I do get a 15. So I could get like a breakfast or something, breakfast and a coffee at like 9, and then take the lunch break later in the shift, and then maybe get my meditation in. Yeah, I would still have to go because I work in the medical field. A lot of people do 12s. It ends up you do like 3 12s. It ends up being it's actually a 12 and a half, right? Because of the 30
they make
minutes.
You stay after. Because of lunch.
Yeah, because of the lunch.
Yeah.
So it's a long time to go on just like a breakfast and a coffee, but it's possible. I mean, I can try it. I need to try it. I got to get back. I feel so much better when I meditate.
You know what we need to do? We need to start intermittent fasting.
Okay.
I've been actually considering it because I've been reading a bunch of good benefits on it, and so apparently that's just how our ancestors used to eat, like intermittent fasting, because they would find like some food, they would just feast, eat a whole lot, and then just they wouldn't eat for like a day or two or whatever it was, and that's just kind of how I read that's how our bodies like designed to work. So
I did it. I've done it before, and it actually did work pretty well for me because I would just eat. Basically, I wouldn't eat anything until like about 2 p.m. every day, and then I would start eating, and then I could eat for the next 6 to 8 hours, and then stop eating until 2 the next day. I can try it again. Last time we did the pod, I was doing the Mediterranean diet.
You still on that?
I did it for 13 days of the 30 days.
Yeah, I saw you were posting on Instagram.
Yes, and then they just fell off. But
okay.
I 100% recommend that diet. The food was so good.
How'd you feel?
I felt great.
Energy levels were stable, or
everything was good. Yeah, I felt really good. The number one change in my diet was the amount of fruit that I ate, because basically just a quick summation of the diet. So they say like meats and sweets once a week. That's red meat and sweets. Okay.
Yeah.
That was huge, especially in the medical field, because there's meat everywhere, but because there's sweets everywhere. So that was a hard change. And then since you only have red meat once a week, like basically you can have fish 3 days a week, chicken 3 days a week. All of your meals should be based around like whole grains, nuts, seeds, fruits, like all of these things. Should be all of your meals should be based on. So what I was eating felt so, I don't know, it just felt natural, like the opposite of how it feels when you eat
processed stuff
like fast food, how it just makes you feel worse after. It's like you feel the nutritional benefit of it, and it was nice. I liked it. I loved it. I'll do intermittent fasting. It's actually that's actually really easy for me.
It'd probably be good for you
working.
for work.
Because that's really when my by 2 o'clock in my work day, about 70% of my actual work is done.
Okay.
So I can actually relax.
Right. I was watching this podcast. I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and he had, I think her name is Rhonda Patrick.
Okay.
Have you ever seen her?
No.
Have you heard of her? No? I think she's been on his podcast a few times. She knows this doctor. I think his name is... I think his last name is Panda, but he's Indian.
Dr. Panda?
Yeah, I don't remember his first name.
Okay.
We can link it on the bottom under this video later on. But he's talking about restricted eating and like time restricted eating.
Okay.
And there's apparently like a bunch of benefits to it. It has to do with circadian rhythms.
Okay.
And how your I guess digestive enzymes work on the circadian rhythm, so they turn on and off. Okay. So he I think he recommends to eat within like a 12 hour period. And apparently that's like the best for your digestion and best for your metabolism and energy levels.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch of research that he's done out of some university in California. I don't remember which one to be exact, but I definitely would want to look into that. And if you want, we could try that intermittent fasting.
Let's try it. I'm totally down.
Yeah.
That would be the beauty of intermittent fasting. So my knowledge of it, so basically my nutrition class last semester, we had groups. There were 10 different groups. Each group had to present a fad diet. And of all 10 of the fad diets, my teacher, who's a nutritionist, she said that of all of them, that was the one that she felt had the best value.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mediterranean wasn't a part of it. But that's the one that she felt had the best value. And then I also heard about somebody on Rogan talking about it. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's basically...
I think I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Yeah.
He's a doctor. I think he doesn't look like a doctor, but he's a doctor.
No. But he tries... well... Maybe it's the same guy, maybe it's not. This guy is like a human guinea pig for all different diets, nutrition, health stuff. But he does it. And he says the minimum that he recommends is 12 and a half hours of the fast. But really to get the most benefit, it's a 16-hour fast.
Right. Yeah.
Which sounds
yes,
crazy.
I know which one you're talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
But sounds crazy, but that's still 8 hours you can eat, you know what I mean? So it's not, it just depends on, it's just shifting when you are eating. So, man, let's try it.
Yeah, I think it would be definitely beneficial, like for me, because I tend to be in like an overeater, like a binge eater. So if I like have like some food, I'll have like all of it, you know, just like sit. Like, that's why I can't sit at home. I have to study somewhere else because I'll be just eating all the time and not doing anything. Yeah. So I think this would be a great diet just to like practice kind of not eating for a long time. I think that would be super beneficial. And I'm just excited to see all the benefits, to be honest.
Yeah. Just abstaining from eating helps because one thing that I learned, did you take the nutrition class yet?
Not here. Okay. I took it in community.
Okay. Yeah, so it's the different, you know, there's, excuse me, there's a difference between appetite and hunger, right? Okay. So
satiation and
so
hunger, I guess.
So there is hunger, which is your body recognizing that it needs nutrients and it's triggering certain chemicals like I think ghrelin and leptin, maybe?
I don't know.
Either way. Triggers enzymes that tell you to eat, and that's hunger. And then satiety is, or an appetite, is based on psychological factors, which are triggers, you know, when you smell food, or I want something salty, I want something crunchy, I want something sweet, like these things. And so being able to like have those triggers come, not react to them and let them go, it's a mindful way of eating. Will probably, it is a good tool probably for us to use.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like I'll be out and I'm like out about my day. I'm not even hungry. Like I feel great, you know. The moment I get home, I see food, like something turns in my brain, and I just can't stop. Like I don't know. I know I'm conscious of it. Like it's not like I'm just like, unconscious just eating. I'm conscious of it and I'm still doing it.
There's kind of Deepak Chopra has a book specifically on that. It's called "What Are You Hungry For?"
Does he? Okay.
It's like a play on words, like what are you hungry for and what are you hungry for? You know, it's like, and it basically deals like that. Most Americans, they don't eat because they're hungry. They eat because of psychological triggers.
Yeah, it's
and
like
a lot of it's
eating,
and a lot of it's just boredom.
Which
is crazy.
A lot of it is for sure.
So that's probably why it's so good for you to get out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can definitely try that. We can definitely try that. I think that'll work really well. When I was in high school, my mom started getting sick, and she stopped cooking breakfast, and I was not going to go to school early and eat breakfast. That just wasn't going to happen. So I wouldn't eat every day until lunch, and so And all through college, I never ate breakfast. I wouldn't eat every day till lunch. And I would never be hungry except those mornings when I did eat. Say I was with somebody else and they're like, let's get breakfast. And I would eat breakfast. I would be hungry until lunch.
It's a loop.
Yeah, it's weird. But if I didn't eat breakfast at all, I'd be fine like the whole morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, all right, let's try that. Let's try that. We can do that.
Definitely.
All right. So we're back. We're back on the pod. We'll be doing this every Thursday.
Yeah, switching it up a little bit.
Switched it up because Tuesdays are getting too crazy with school and everything. But yeah, we will be doing our thing here. We are back in the studio. You can find us online on Twitter. I am at @JRyanRitchie1. You can also find me on Facebook, JRyanRitchie. And where can the good people find you, Leo?
You can find me on Facebook at Leo Kopp, that's Kopp, and then Leo Kopp Fitness on Instagram.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you next week.